Welcome back, everyone. It's that time of year where everyone gathers around and lists their top coasters they have ridden. This year, I decided to jump on the trend and list my top 25 coasters I have ridden. Coming in at number 25, we have Montu, the king of inverts. This ride has the setting, theming, ride length, and intensity to make this a world-class ride. Coming in at number 24, we have Wonder Woman Flight of Courage. People were upset as this ride was not as intense as the prototype Raptors, but I prefer to look at this ride as RMC's answer to B&M's Hypercoaster. Plenty of floater airtime and a great time. At 23, we have Time Traveler at Silver Dollar City. This is a hard ride to rank as it is not as intense as the other rides on this list, but it is definitely unique and always a great time. Make your way out to Silver Dollar City to go ride Time Traveler. At 22, we have Storm Chaser over at Kentucky Kingdom. Don't let the stats of this ride fool you. This ride is small but mighty. It has some of the most aggressive airtime you will get on any coaster. And at 21, we have Twisted Timbers. Everything I said about Storm Chaser applies to Twisted Timbers. These two go back and forth in my rankings, but today, Twisted Timbers took the W, probably because of its a little more condensed layout. Coming in at number 20 is Goliath over at Six Flags Over Georgia. All I have to say is that B&M doesn't make hypers like this anymore, and I really wish they would. This is an awesome layout with a great finale. To be honest, I'm probably ranking this a little too low. At 19, we have Formula Rossa at Ferrari World. This ride is raw power. Fortunately, the rest of the layout after launch isn't bad either. At 18, we have Intimidator 305 over at King's Dominion. Another powerhouse ride that flies non-stop until you hit the brake run. With some whippy laterals and some hidden airtime, this is a must ride. At 17 and 16, we have Wonder Woman Golden Lasso Coaster and Railblazer, the Raptor prototypes, at Fiesta, Texas, and over at California's Great America. These rides fly through the layout, and they take your breath away from start to finish. At number 15, we have Ravine Flyer II at Waltamere. This coaster, literally in the middle of nowhere, is freaking awesome. Lots of airtime, good laterals, and it goes over a street twice. At number 14, we have Lightning Rod located at Dollywood. This topper track turned hybrid conversion just keeps picking up the pace throughout the ride. Its finale is one of the best among all roller coasters. At number 13, we have GhostRider located at Knott's Berry Farm. This CCI wooden masterpiece goes through a double out and back L-shaped layout that is just amazing. The second part of this ride, going through their structure, is something that you cannot miss. Also, don't forget the night rides. Coming in at number 12, we have Shivering Timbers over at Michigan's Adventure. This is CCI's magnum opus, and I would call this a cross between GhostRider and Diamondback. Plenty of floater airtime with some strong laterals peppered throughout the ride. Definitely make your way up to Michigan's Adventure and ride this ride. Bantam's Revenge at Kennywood comes in at number 11, and I might be underrating this ride. This has two incredible drops, a crazy finale, and some airtime that feels borderline illegal. Definitely a great ride, and I'm going to say it again, I'm probably underrating it. Kicking off the top 10 is Mako at SeaWorld Orlando. This B&M Hyper is considered to be the best by many, and it is also my favorite B&M Hyper. This ride is just pure joy, and I love the setting. Speaking of pure joy, we got Millennium Force over at Cedar Point coming in at number 9. While this might not be the most forceful ride, it is pure fun as it keeps the speed throughout the layout from start to finish. I also might have a bias towards this ride as it was very important for the coaster world. At number 8, we have Outlaw Run over at Silver Dollar City. This topper track RMC gives you relentless out of control ride. The double barrel roll finale is amazing, and we cannot forget about those night rides. Arguably one of the best night rides in the country. Velocicoaster debuts on this list at number 7. This ride at Universal's Islands of Adventure is a world-class ride and is many people's number one. It has a total package, a great ride layout, a great theming, and it actually tells a story. Universal created a great experience with this attraction, and I can't wait to see what they build at their other parks. At number 6, we got Steel Vengeance over at Cedar Point. This is RMC's magnum opus, and they threw everything in this ride, including the kitchen sink. There is an abundance of airtime, a long ride time, and some awesome inversions. Now we start the top 5. We kick off the top 5 with Voyage at Holiday World. This ride seems to defy the laws of physics, and it should not exist. So much track, one lift hill, a twister section, some airtime hills, and we cannot even forget about those trimless night rides during Hollywood nights. If the ride always ran like that, it would be higher on this list. And at number 4, we have Twisted Colossus over at Six Flags Magic Mountain. The West Coast premier RMC is such a great ride, especially when you're able to get a dueling ride. Unfortunately, it does not duel as much as a lot of people would like, but the layout is still strong enough on its own, and I do love the fact that every element on the ride doesn't feel perfectly machined, so it gives the ride a lot of character. So if you are dueling, or even if you're just taking a solo lap, prepare for an onslaught of airtime and some crazy inversions. Fury 325 carries the bronze in my listings. This is B&M's greatest coaster, and it doesn't really feel like a typical B&M. There really isn't a dead spot on this ride besides the helix that I feel that's a little too drawn out, but the triple left turnaround, the airtime hills, and just the sheer speed this ride seems to carry throughout the whole layout, and how everything seems to be off axis, B&M has one of the best coasters in the world. Taking the silver is X2 at Six Flags Magic Mountain. This 4D coaster is a brainchild of Alan Schilke, and it's been thrilling riders for over 20 years. I love this ride, and there's nothing else like it in the US. And taking the gold, my number 1 coaster is Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens, Tampa. The best way I can describe this ride is that Alan Schilke woke up and chose violence. Everything is off axis, and all the elements that RMC is known for is put to use in this coaster, and nothing is repetitive. It holds its speed and intensity from the drop all the way to the brake run. Now, if we only can find a way for Busch Gardens Tampa to improve the operations of this ride, it will be literally perfect. Well, that does it for my top 25 coasters. Thank you everyone for tuning in and listening, and be sure to leave your top 5 in the comments down below so we can compare lists. And don't forget to come back for some more theme park and amusement park content here at Almighty Coasters.